a couple minutes late, which at this point, I guess, is probably not much of a surprise. I just wanted to go live today because, as you might know, I haven't been posting content as regularly as I normally do. And also, some of the content that I was working on that I had planned on having much sooner than right now, primarily the Battle of the Belt Knife series, uh, hasn't come out yet. So, you know, just came in here to talk to you guys, see what's up, tell you guys what's going on. I've got a couple little Easter eggs, couple little secrets for the guys who follow me closely and watch live videos that don't have trendy titles. Hey Kevin, how you doing, man? So I've got a little bit of Easter eggs for you guys, but basically, it's going really well. Last weekend we celebrated our 9th anniversary in Gatlinburg, my wife and I. And then, hey, what's up, man? Then I got back on late on Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday and half of Thursday, I worked my butt off really hard to get ready. And Thursday, it was Thursday, I left. Thanks, man. Uh, Thursday, I left and headed to Michigan. And on the way, I met Cloud Defensive, the guys at Cloud Defensive, the owner of Cloud Defensive. That was really cool. I also met the owner of Blade Forums. So, talk about, I don't believe in coincidence. Talk about something crazy. A guy walked up and he was like, "Hey, Sean, I'm the guy from Knife One Stop that hit you up," or something of that nature. Not a direct quote. And I was like, "Knife One Stop? Hey, I might have to hit you up. I'm a knife guy myself. I have a knife brand." He was like, "Oh, I also happen to own Blade Forums." And I was just like floored. Um, my like so many of us, my knife journey began on Blade Forums before social media was what it is today. And so maybe that'll go something somewhere. I'm not sure yet, but I'm definitely excited about that. What's up, Southern Australia? Man, it's like the middle of the night for you, huh? But then I went up to White River Knife and Tool after that, and so I slept in the car overnight, and my goal was to get a lot of footage from the factory so that I could incorporate that footage in my future knife videos, my future knife commercials for my own brand, you know? Yeah, the old Blade Forums. Cliff Stamp. Um, Anyways, got great footage. They've got new machinery in there. It's a, you you would be amazed to see what all they have going on in there. Um, it's crazy. Oh, 9:40 in the morning. Good stuff. Um, Anyways, they've always got new machinery. They're always working on a huge project, and it's amazing the stuff that they get done. You probably already know about their fit and finish, and it just blows me away every time I go over there. So that was fantastic. And on the way back, I went to the Buell Motorcycles Homecoming, and that was great. So I'm back. I got back late last night. Today, as you've probably noticed, I got a couple of videos up. I've got a bunch more to get up. But so I have a few things to update on. Talking to Aaron Nopert, um, I think we came to a conclusion on a way to get the knives made more quickly and more easily. Um, and that is, I think what we are going to do is we are going to do a ferro notch. And what this will allow us to do is, in my opinion, I've always kind of liked the notches as long as they're well placed. give us the best of both worlds, not necessarily having an entire sharp spine, which can wear on your hand with prolonged use, while still giving you the crazy sparks that we want and need and deserve. Uh, and from a manufacturing standpoint, it's also going to be a lot better than refinishing the whole spine the way that they do. So that's really exciting. Now, this knife itself that I'm showing you, this is going to be my personal mutant and my personal jackalope over here. And these look a little bit different, I hope you can tell, than basically anything else on the market because of the finish on these knives here. They are Cerakoted blade and handle. Dude, that's really cool. Knife Shetty, that's legit. Brown burlap micarta. Actually, brown burlap micarta Exodus 3s and 4s are actually currently available and in stock at White River Knife and Tool, and that is an option. But the Cerakote finish on the blade and the handle here is kind of unique because obviously Dex, no. Obviously, it's incredibly monotone. It's very matte. It's very non-reflective. It perfectly matches. And so these are prototypes. If I'm going to be beating the snot out of these, especially kind of the handles, looking towards whether or not get the Cerakote chips from the handles, which I don't think it will. What's up, Gabe? Those in stock are not black Cerakote. That is correct. White River Knife and Tool will have probably some custom options, you know, as time goes on in their custom shop that are different than what I'm going to offer and different than what they're going to offer as a standard. But for the most part, I'm going to have standard colors. Dealers will probably have different standard colors. White River Knife and Tool will probably sell those standard colors, and then they'll have a few customs available as well. I will always be trying to do special custom runs and stuff like that, but that's just going to depend on what we're doing. But anyways, yeah, so if this works out, then I will be doing a few knives, probably more in the full production mutant than in the jackalope or the adventure craft, but in full in a full Cerakote of my own custom color. It's not my own custom color, but I'm gonna be the only guy probably in the knife industry using it. It is a mixture of grays and OD greens to make a parkerized looking finish. So these knives in a parkerized looking finish, the ferro rod notch there will also be finished, will be totally blacked out, non-reflective. Well, parkerized out, non-reflective. It's going to be a really unique look. I think we'll etch the logo before the Cerakote really, really deep, so you won't even see the logo standing out a lot. It'll be just a deep relief in there, almost like a stamp. Pretty excited about that project. That's pretty cool. For you guys who pay attention, on Exodus Knife and Tool, I shared a picture of some white G10 handle scales. The Exodus Knife and Tool high vis color scheme at this moment will be red and white. I'm hugely excited about this. I thought about going ferrite. Yeah, and so the notch isn't necessarily designed to throw sparks better. It's a notch from a 2-inch wheel, if memory serves. So it's not a sharp notch like on the FC. The purpose isn't necessarily to throw sparks better because, in my opinion, our square spines already threw sparks phenomenally. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I could throw some doggone sparks off of it. It's not necessarily to throw sparks better, it's to help production and also to give you a usable spine that's not square and more comfortable, but still have the ferro rod capability. Because believe it or not, I get people who complain about square spines, and believe it or not, there is good reasons to complain about square spines. I think this is going to be the best of both worlds. Anyways, red and white. And the reason that this is my high-vis choice is because, for one, it's been proven in studies that in low-vis, red is actually more visible than orange. Number two, red and white contrast well together. But the most important reason, I'm glad to hear that, man. That is awesome to hear. And I'm glad to hear that you're putting that mutant to work. I love them. The real reason for red and white being my high vis is you automatically associate red and white with emergency. It's all over our hospitals. It's in our culture everywhere. It's all over our airports. Anything that is an emergency already is red and white. These two colors work excellently as high vis, and it's already ingrained in our brain that is it is an emergency. So red scales with a black blade would look really cool. Anyways, and the reason I went with white G10 is your blade is more likely to be worn and chipped and whatever else, the color of it, and dulled than white G10. White G10 is always going to clean up well. It's always going to slick up and be right back to that vibrant white color. And I think that this is really a step away from the industry standard for high vis knives. I don't know why nobody has done it, but I think, and maybe I'm thinking wrong, but I think this is going to be the best high vis option that's ever been offered on production knife. I'm super excited about it. The other production standard color for Exodus knife tool. Why are you so retarded? Just stop it. Is going to be my Parkerized color. It's like a gray OD green, dull colored, meant to look like Parkerizing in a Cerakote finish with natural micarta. The natural micarta will darken and patina and stain with use and age, look a bit like wood, which is what I'm going for. The Parkerized looking finish will patina and wear with time and use, which is what I'm going for. So we will have what looks reminiscent to classic materials that wear and that patina and stain, but in actuality we'll have synthetic materials that are almost indestructible and cutting edge. So I'm really, really excited about this next drop of knives. It's going to be huge. Guys, in this next run, if you want a knife, if you're paying attention at all, you'll be able to get a knife. And Lord willing, we'll have some available afterwards as well. I might do a pre-sale on the knives and give people an opportunity to choose. What's up, Mitchell Black? What's the rod run? Oh, the hot rod. No, so these, sorry. I'm hoping to have this run of knives in people's hands by Christmas. I don't know that will happen, but that's the goal that I'm shooting for. And maybe a couple of these touches that we've done to speed up production a little bit will help us achieve that goal. But I might open up a pre-order. And what I think I'll do if you sign up for the pre-order is give people the opportunity to choose a serial number from the first knives. I'm going to have to talk to White River, see if we can do that, see if they can get me all sequential serial numbers. But, you know, if you might have an option of 1 to 50, sign up for the pre-order. You get to pick your number. You're the first person to pick it. You get it. I think that these serial numbers, the high vis and the Parkerized standard, are going to be the serial numbers that run way up in the future. I intend to have thousands and thousands of these knives made. So getting one between 1 and 50 where you pick the numbers, pretty freaking cool. I think that's enough to be worthy of a pre-order. So yeah, let me know. Um, Anyways, I think that's about all that I've got. For the next couple of days, I've got a Gatlinburg video to get up. I've got another Buell video to get up. I've got a few White River Knife and Tool and Exodus Knife and Tool videos to get up from the trip. Um, and then after that, my goal, I've got a Cedric and Ada video collab video series to get started up with. Yeah, low serial number knives are cool, man. Um, Cedric and Ada collab video to get started on. And then, and I've got 2 initial impressions videos to get up this week. Actually, probably before I do any of that. One on the Hinderer XM18 recurve that I am borrowing, and then one on the Redbeard Blades Midnight Patriot, because I need to get that video up before I ship it off. I am sending the Redbeard Blades Midnight Patriot to Michael Spaniers of Spirit of the Bear Designs because he is at the top of the leather game. I absolutely love his work. I think that Pete from Cedric and Ada, I think, is one of the best knife YouTube channels, if not the best YouTube channels um, that exists. 0311, I might be able to make that happen. I'll have to talk to White River Knife and Tool. Um, that's a really cool thing. And if I can make that happen, I will. Especially, you might have to remind me, guys. I've been terrible about forgetting that I was talking to people, forgetting emails, forgetting conversations lately. Um, I've been really bad. So if you want something special, or if I mention that you might need to contact me, send me an email at the Preppers Bunker Outdoors at gmail.com. It's the best way to make sure that I don't forget. I'm good with my emails. But Facebook and Instagram messages, guys, they gone. I lose them. Okay. So let's see here. The Knife Rights raffle, we are actually going to change that up a little bit, and I think we're going to switch over to an auction. The raffle did not go as well as I wanted it to go, so I need to pick a date on that. I need to send some emails about that because I had mentioned that to somebody already. And I think we need to do an auction, and I'm going to try and get that started soon. I don't know. I think it was too much to ask people to pay Knife Rights, screenshot it, and send it to me for tickets. I think people would rather just pay me directly or make it easier. There's too many steps. People are like, okay, how do I enter? And they see that there's a paragraph there and they're like, nah. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe it's not. I don't know, but I think we'll do an auction. I need to schedule that and I need to advertise that. Anyways, all right, we can make that happen, man. Hey, Brandon Davis, good to have you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Just been running circles, doing knife guy stuff. Oh, speaking of which, also, I want to start teaching. Do some fire and some bushcraft classes, probably some tactical classes. I'm thinking of starting Solid Rock Training Academy or something like that. I could probably easily do 4 classes a year. I might even be able to travel and do classes. I could also have some guest instructors come over. I know some really, really good people. And I think I need to make that happen. And to start out, I'll probably do it on my property or up at Paragon. But you know, I might be able, if I could do a class once a month, I might be able to buy a property locally for training, which would be really amazing. So that's something that's going to kind of be in the works, especially with this recession. Hopefully, land prices start dropping. We'll see how nasty things get. On the flip side, if there's a nasty recession, maybe people aren't going to come out and train. But it's I after doing the class at Tactical Response Alumni, I really realized that I needed to be doing it. And I would love to actually do a class in Michigan sometime. I think I could definitely make that happen. There's a lot of things for me to do up there in Michigan, a lot of people to see, a lot of places to see. Um, yeah, and Brandon, I could definitely make that happen, man. And if I traveled, what I'd probably do, yeah, I'd love, but if I'm gonna go to Georgia, it's probably gonna be in the not hottest 4 months of the year. Um, Trade acreage for gallons of gas the way prices are going. That's right. What I'll probably do is if I'm going to set up a training class abroad, it will probably be a place where I know a few people, and I'll probably advertise it, but I'll probably also try to lean on those friends to help me advertise. You know, if I can get friends of friends to book up in a class and I can get a few people to book up in a class, then I can make the whole thing acceptably profitable. I'm not looking to get rich. You know, I don't think I'm going to go out here and profit 4 grand in a weekend, right? But if I don't make enough money to travel and do classes, then I can't really travel and do classes. So I do need to make a little bit of money. So yeah, as far as moving, northern Wisconsin sounds cool, but sounds a little cold actually. I could probably do it, but probably colder than I like if I got to choose whatever I wanted. I have some family over in Wisconsin, some good folks over there. So I'd really like um, Southern Alaska though. So Brandon asked the minimum amount of people. That would probably depend on the cost of the class. Some classes are probably going to be cheaper than others. Also, the distance and the cost. You know, if I'm going to go to Washington State, it's going to have to be probably more expensive than if it's in Kentucky. And by more expensive, probably more people. So in Kentucky, I would love to do a class for 3 people. I'd love to do a class for one person. Let's do it. I don't have to make much money, right? But if I'm going to go all the way up to Washington, we might need 15 people. Also, you know, if someone is in the area that can give me a place to stay, that'd be really nice. I might do a training class where I sleep in my car or camp. You know, that's a very real possibility and a low cost possibility. But if the weather's really bad, I'm probably going to want to be a wiener and get a hotel. Just going to be honest. I hate spending money on hotels, though. They're too doggone expensive, and like, I just want to sleep. So, Warriors Collection, dude, just let me know and I'll hit it up. And like I said, guys, I don't need to make a fortune and I don't need to make extra. If a whole bunch of extra people come and I make good money, that's great. That's fantastic. But if I'm going to do this, I need to make enough money to cover my costs, obviously, and I need to make enough money to be not making rifle slings, essentially. Lil Bedlow, what's up, man? So, um, camping in the rain when you've got a dry setup is very very nice. And my experience camping in the rain, you know, I'm already soaking wet and don't get to pick very well where I sleep and crawl into a bag soaking wet and sleep soaking wet, and that's never relaxing. Actually, you know what? I do have a little bit of a problem with sleeping in the rain because I don't sleep as soundly because I'm constantly waking up to see if there's a leak anywhere. A lot of times in the military, I'd get out and I'd like trench to try and get water around me, especially there in Georgia. You know, you'd go to bed and it would be sprinkling in the middle of the night, it would be flooding. You know what I mean? So I've experienced a lot of that. And even in my own home, if it's raining, I actually don't sleep as well because I have a gutter that likes to overflow sometimes. And then in the past, what has happened is I would get some basement flooding, and that would wake me up because if the basement flooded while we didn't have power, that would be stressful if the sump pumps went out. I have some trench work to do out there. I've got some gutter work that I'm not really comfortable with, but we still have bugs in the rain in Kentucky, either during the rain or right after, or right before the rain if it's the summer. But I do prefer camping without bugs. I'd rather go with just cold, but not like northern Wisconsin cold for camping. Between 35 and 60 degrees is probably my comfort zone. And anything below 35, and I'm having to spend more time with gear and actually preparing for the cold. And, anyways, yeah, I could definitely do a class for 7 dudes in Georgia, and I would love to. So, I mean, I'll start looking, and I can get it on the books. I think it would be a good time. So, anyways, guys, I think I'll wrap all of this up here. Um, oh yeah, there already is a bushcraft event in Georgia. I think Bushcraft Global or something. Um, however, what I would do is probably going to be a lot different than what they do. A little bit different perspective because I look at. Um, oh, I believe it. Uh, FTX in the winter in Colorado sounds cold. I look at bushcraft, practical bushcraft, and tactical as the same thing, right? So a class for little bedlow for you for free, man. Let me know what you want, and if I can teach it to you, I'll teach it to you, and we'll go out. Um, there are basic skills that people need to have, no matter where you live, that involve fire and sleep and movement. Um, Georgia Bushcraft, the first weekend of November. Yeah, that's right. Joe Flowers is Bushcraft Global. But anyways, making a fire and knowing how to sleep and knowing how to move. Uh, Maybe we'll do a class together, Kevin. Could be equally what keeps you alive to knowing how to shoot and knowing your tactics for combat. Um, even urban, even urban. So, you know, and it's harder than people think, guys. It really, really is. But anyways, yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap this up here. Hopefully, the wife will be home with the kids soon. That's another thing with my YouTube schedule is my wife's a newborn photographer. She does absolutely amazing work, the best work in the area. She's getting really busy, and so I'm having to incorporate her schedule into my schedule, which I'm not used to. And so, I'm getting older. We're having more kids. We're doing more. We're trying to be more mature. Um, and it's just always a little bit more on the plate. But it always should be a little bit more on the plate. Well, we should be constantly growing and constantly doing more. And that's what I'm doing. And sometimes I'll do a good job at it with the YouTube. Sometimes I'll do not such a good job at it with the YouTube. It's just going to be kind of the way that it goes in social media in general. But, anyways, thank you all for watching. Um, I hope that you have a blessed night. If you like the hats, I do have the hats on Exodus Knife and Tool, and we'll have knives soon. So, yeah, Kevin, you are right about that. Have a great night, y'all, and a great week.